All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022, and, we're a little bit late to this news, but we do have news from around the NFL. It's kind of big news, I would say, because it involves, a pretty important player, I would say, to the Giants, or at least a player that they figured was going to be pretty important prior to a string of injuries that have kind of hampered him, the last 3 seasons. But the new Giants GM, Joe Schoenen, has, on potential Saquon Barkley trade, he's open to anything. So basically, it kind of came out yesterday, probably pretty... around, 8 o'clock-ish last night, that the Giants are open to trade Saquon Barkley. You could see that here's from Schefter that they're open to trade him. They're going to rebuild their roster. So, there's people here's the people talking about the Bills, the Chiefs, the Browns are talking about it. Browns beat writers and stuff like that. There's a side. Let's see. Spoke with 2 teams, both of who told me Giants' potential asking price for Saquon Barkley was very significant. One assistant GM also said, "I don't get the sense that they actually want to trade him. To me, this is just a posturing, but Joe Schoenen would want a 1." So it sounds like the Giants are completely in the odds of trying to get a 1 for Saquon Barkley. So they do want some kind of first-round pick for their super talented running back. That would be an offensive game changer to really whatever offense he wound up going to. Right, you can pretty much guarantee, as long as he's healthy, your offense is dynamic. It's changed. It has more moving parts to it. You have a very good run game. It opens up the pass. It does a lot of things for an offense that maybe is missing a part or two. Doesn't necessarily have, if you look at a team like the Bills, that would be a logical place. If you look at a team kind of like the Chiefs, who don't really have that big premier running back. That you wouldn't have to give a heavy load to either because you have guys that can kind of swell it with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, or within Buffalo you could go with Moss or Singletary as the backup who can eat some of the load. So you don't have to necessarily overwork Saquon. Is open to, even if it's Saquon Barkley. Yeah, they're looking to do it. Honestly, a 3rd-round pick might get it done for the Giants. Would clear $7.2 million in cap space, which is the biggest variable. So a decent-sized contract for Saquon. Honestly, if I'm hearing Saquon surrounding my name, I can see one of the West Coast teams like the Rams, the Chargers could be a team that they kind of have running backs. So let's see. I think that's basically it for it's all just, they're interested to see where he's going to go. And obviously, if you look at the numbers, it would indicate, you get a top player as long as you have things in front of him. Last year it was kind of a question mark, but I mean, Joe Judge is a question mark in and of itself. So that, I don't know about all this. But yeah, look at this. 13 games, he had 1,000 yards. His rookie year, 1,300 yards. Receiving, he had 721 yards. So, you look at that and you go, all right, that's 2,000 yards from scrimmage, 1,400 yards from scrimmage with only 13 games. He missed all of 2020 and some of 2021, but he still had almost 1,000 total yards for a Giants offense that really didn't have much going for it. Averages 4.5 yards per carry, 19 career touchdowns. About 3,000 total career yards. And he's a viable backfield target, 120, 73. He's obviously a guy you can throw to. You can, like I said, dynamic offensive player that changes everything you can do on offense. When you go ahead and look at the numbers and kind of go, oh, okay. So, when he's healthy, this is a literal top tier running back. It's one of the better players in the game. Put a line around him and see what happens. And put him in a competent offensive system that isn't Joe Judge. So, yeah, if he can stay healthy, he's clearly probably worth the 1st-round pick that you're hearing that the Giants are interested in. I've seen the argument made that, a lot of his injuries come from the fact that, bad offensive line. And it's all right, I'll give you that. Maybe he goes to a better team that can block a little better where he's not, expected to carry, to have this kind of a workload. Let's see. 261 rushes and 121 carries. You want to cut that down a little bit, 217, 162. Like, you know, that's probably where you want to have him, right around 200. And probably right around 70 catches. That way you're not overworking him, potentially putting him in a spot to get injured. Those plays are all big plays. Hopefully they're big dynamic type plays that move everything down the field, get your offense moving. He's going to eat coverage up, so that way you free up some of your receivers. Maybe there's like if you're Buffalo, this could free up Gabe Davis in certain routes if Saquon's out on the field. Could help free up like a Pringle up in or Kelsey or Knox. Just depending on if you're one of these teams that might be in the market for him, you know, things to consider. The injury is a little bit concerning. And, of course, what's his contract? There we go. The contract. Just so we have a better idea. I'm sorry I didn't have this up already. I don't think it's too crazy. It's just high for a running back. Yeah, it's going to be $7 million this year, and then and then he's gone after. He's an unrestricted free agent next season, so you only got to pay $7 million for him, which isn't too bad. I mean, the Giants have eaten most of this bad salary, so I mean, it's not even that bad of a salary now that I look at it. It's just, you know, $7.2 million for a guy who might not be the healthiest. Bit of a gamble when the salary caps are still a little bit in flux and teams don't have a lot of spare cash right now. But for a player this talented, do you want to make the move, get a 1-year rental, kind of go the Rams route, which apparently works? I don't know. I think this is quite interesting. I think if you package this right and offer multiple picks, you can probably get away with not giving up a first rounder. But it kind of seems like the Giants might have a steep asking price for their extremely talented but often injured running back. So the question is, do you take the risk? If you have a team that can afford to take the risk, then yeah, probably. But if your team's tight on money and it's like this is going to be our centerpiece, what we're going to build the new offense around, I would probably hesitate to make Saquon Barkley the guy just in case of an injury. Like, just in case it's not like the injuries aren't a product of the Giants system just being kind of not that good on O-line, not that good at run blocking. We see all those. So I don't know. This is quite the interesting situation. It's one to follow. It's one I'm going to be following. And if there's any kind of development, I'll make another video. If there's any other kind of big news like this, of course, we'll make more videos. It's the NFL offseason, so news will be coming sparingly. And then, you know, there might be big bursts and none at all for a few weeks. It's kind of a weird period of time. But anyway, let me know what you think down below. Are the Giants going to trade Barkley? Where should he go? What team should be interested? Do you think that, like, what do you think? Should the Giants just wait it out and hold him for another year and maybe they get a breakout season out of him? I don't. Do the Giants fans like him still? Just let me know your total thoughts on the situation down below. I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. What else? Yeah, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. All that YouTube stuff helps us grow, yada yada. We could use the help. Yeah, that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a good rest of your day.